Hey guys, it has been such a long time since I've been on here with you guys, and I am so sorry for that. I swear if one more child gets the flu or if I get sick, I'm gonna scream. Oh, and here we go. Woo, I like when it's easy. We are here today with the author of The Raven and the Dove. This was such an amazing story, and I cannot wait to get the next
Whoa,
one.
that's really close to my face. I've never done this before, so bear with me for a second.
I'm just happy that I can actually hear you for a change because I've been having problems with the volume where like it was working fine and then just all of a sudden I went to upload it to YouTube and there was no volume to it. I'm like,
Oh
what in the
no.
world? And then I did another video, thought I had it fixed, uploaded it to YouTube, and then people started messaging me and says, "Hey, you do realize there's no audio to this?" And I'm like, "You're joking." And I'm like,
You're
"Oh
like,
my
oh no.
God." I'm like,
All that
"Yeah,
work.
I know the Instagram probably told all you guys that I was like live like 80,000 times here in the last 20 minutes because I kept like checking and I'm like, okay,
Doing
let's
it,
see if it
yeah.
works with my headphones because I had it working and then I could barely hear you guys and it was really low. It sounded like you guys were like whispering, but everybody else could hear you. And I'm like, what is going? So I
What
switched
is
to my,
going on?
yeah, what is going on? So I switched to my iPad and this seems to I can hear you loud and clear. It's nice and loud.
Awesome.
So, yes, score.
Yeah. Well, I'm
This
excited to be here. Yeah.
this book was great.
Oh,
This book
thank
was so
you. Thank you.
good.
I had a blast writing it.
I actually think I have some of your other books as well.
Oh,
As
really?
as we're waiting for Instagram to tell everybody that we're live here, I cannot spell at all.
Oh, no worries. The Y trips people up a lot in Caitlin. A lot of people have it with a C and an I, not a K and a Y.
Right. Yep. See, I spelled it wrong on my little Kindle app. Yes, I do. I have Ignite, a Dance of
Oh, nice.
and a Dance
Oh,
of
fun. Yay.
Dragons, and apparently I have this on Kindle too. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. It just went live on Monday, and it's my first book, my first YA book that I've launched right into Kindle Unlimited. So that was pretty fun. A lot of people have been reading it that way, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so good. It kind of tripped me up to start with because, like, you have that prologue on there, and
Yep,
what
yep.
happened with the dragon and everything else, and then it shoots forward, what, like 18 years, I
18
think.
years, yeah.
Yeah, and then it goes in, that it's just in the world of the sky. I'm like, well, what's going on what happened with the
I know. I love a
dragon?
good prologue. Whenever you read like writing advice, they always say, oh, like don't start with prologues. It's so old school. Like no one does that anymore. But I don't know. I can't help it. I love a prologue that
I
gives you
love
a
the
little,
prologues. The prologues are because the prologues are always really epic, and then you
That's what I
start
was
the
going
story,
for.
and it's like sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes like the prologue is just like this amazing thing, and then you start the story, and you're like,
Like where'd that go?
where did all this amazing stuff and this amazing writing go to? And then you go into this like, what is going on? See if I can
Yeah,
move
no, I
this
like them
back a
because you can
little
like
bit.
with a prologue, you can dive right into the action a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like right at the start of a story, you're kind of introducing characters and it might take a little bit of time to build up. So having a fun prologue can get you like right into the action and right into the thick of the
Well,
story
you
really quickly.
definitely you A
Thanks.
there. There's an A there. Yeah, this was a great story. If you guys haven't picked it up, you definitely need to do so. And let's see, we're gonna give Instagram here just a couple more seconds or minutes here, and then we will get in on to the actual questions. So,
Oh, no worries.
where are you streaming from today?
I'm in my house. I'm right in front of my bookshelves, which are behind me. I have some of my books up there. You can see some of my favorite reads and just it's the brightest room in the house. So I figured that would be the best spot. My office can be kind of like dark because the light in there for some reason is terrible, but
Oh, I
I
feel you.
never fixed it.
I'm
So
in the living room today because I'm like, we have clothes all over our floor because we just did laundry and we haven't folded anything. So it's just kind of dumped in there to the side. I'm
yep.
like, you know what? I don't want to clean this right now to make room to do this. I'm just gonna go sit in my nice comfy chair, in the living room and it's nice and bright in here. You don't get like the nice book background, but it's
It's
fine.
comfortable. That's what
Yes,
matters.
it's comfy. It's very comfy. I've been up at like 2 a.m. with a migraine,
Oh
so
my goodness, no.
it's not been a fun day.
Yeah,
So
tough
are
day.
you in the States or are you overseas
Yeah,
or
yeah. I live in New York.
okay, you're
Yeah,
in New
so
York.
just
Okay.
north of the city. So it's been
Okay.
a bit of a crazy time in New York the past like week and a half, but trying to focus on writing and getting work done. And luckily, I work from home, so
Right. It's been crazy everywhere. Like you can't find
yeah, it's been crazy
anything.
everywhere.
We went to go grab dog food from my mom's dogs at Sam's Clubs today, and people were like converging on all the water that they had left,
Yeah, it's
and
wild.
it is it's a crazy world out there right now. Go out at your own risk.
Yeah, exactly.
Get that full zombie riot, get your riot gear ready because you're gonna need it,
I
especially
know.
if
I've
you
been
happen to
seeing all
find
these.
toilet paper or something,
Yeah, exactly.
because somebody's
All
gonna
these like
mug you
YA
for it.
authors all these YA authors I follow on Twitter have been
Hmm.
tweeting like, anyone who's a fan of young adult books has probably been prepared for this day like far longer than anyone else because we've read so many things that are like
Right? Well,
about the
yeah.
apocalypse and the world ending.
Well, it's like
Like
you
what to
watch these
do.
movies about like horror movies and stuff, and I'm like, do these people ever watch TV or
I know.
movies or read a book or anything? Because, it would have prepared you for this
Yeah, the
whole
readers are
scenario
prepared.
thing. Hey, I'm prepared. If for some reason I can't go to work now that I finally found a job, I have 5 totes of books that I need to read. So
Exactly. My never
I'm
ending TBR.
prepared. I am good.
I can wait it out.
Yep. Nothing but reading. Of course, I've got this massive these gigantic books over here that I still need
Oh my gosh, I
to
know.
open.
This
So,
was like the week of long books going on sale.
oh my
Crescent
God, I know.
City, Chain of
Yeah, that one's
Gold.
down
My
there
book is like
too.
500 pages,
Yep.
so
The next book for
lots of
next
long
week's
ones.
author chat is The Diamond City, and it's like really thick too. It's like, man, you guys are killing me with these really thick books.
I know. I look at my shelves from the books that I like fell in love with when I was a teenager, and the YA back then used to be
It's like
like
really thin,
so short, so tiny, and
right?
now I feel like everyone's just
It's like
writing. But I love long stories,
everything's
so
going like these massive thick books. Well, and then
yeah.
a lot of these, I mean, this one's even longer because it's tall. Like
Right, right.
it's like baby.
The
It's a
extra, yeah,
baby
like
book.
2 inches at the
It's
top.
a baby book. Okay, so I think we have uh given Instagram enough time to tell everybody that we're live. Okay, so first of all,
Perfect.
of course, tell us a little about you and your journey to becoming an author and how many books you've written and all of that
Yeah.
yummy stuff.
I've written a bunch of books. I think The Raven and the Dove was which is this one right here, which just went on sale on Monday, was my 21st book.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, I've been at it since 2011, and since I'm an indie author, I can publish quite a few books per year, a lot faster than a traditional author schedule. So, which I love because I don't know, my inspiration is always like flying around. So I love being able to get it all on paper and get it out to people, as quick as possible and not have to wait a year, 2 years, three
Right.
years, the way you hear from other, from more traditional authors. But yeah, so I started in 2011. And my first book was Ignite, which was the first book in a vampire romance series. So that
Okay.
Midnight Fire series was kind of the first series that kickstarted my career.
I think
And
that's the one
yeah,
that
I've
I
been
said
doing
I
this ever
had.
since. Yeah.
Yes, I do. I have that one. Awesome. So all of your books are indie published.
Yeah, all of them are indie
Okay.
published. I write young adult fiction, all like
Hmm.
fantasy. So I have some vampire romance series. I have a fairy tale retelling series, and then I do some high fantasy too, like The Raven and the Dove, and then the other series that you said you had, A Dance of Dragons. And then I also have a pen name, K Marie, where I write some contemporary romances and like chick lit rom coms,
Oh
which
yeah, I was looking
is
that up
my
because I
other
noticed it
love.
had like two names in your bio. I'm like, ooh, what's this?
Yeah.
Those look so cute. They
Oh,
look
thanks. They're
so
so fun.
adorable.
It's like when I'm writing YA, I'm like, oh, the world's ending. There's like sword battles and dragons, and like I need to I'm like Googling crazy stuff. And
Hmm.
then I'm like, okay, I can take a break and write a fun romance and just think about like love and jokes and funny things. So it's nice to bounce back and forth between both genres.
I have to check out your other books too, because this one was
Oh,
so
thanks.
good. So I've got like tons and tons of books on my Kindle that were like the free stuff where you grab it
Oh, totally. I do
and then
that
it just
too.
lives on there forever and you
Yeah,
forget
book
you
club
have
is
it.
like been the best thing and the worst thing for me because whenever something's like 2.99 or
Right?
99 cents or free, I'm just like, oh, that sounds
It's like,
interesting, and
oh,
I just can't
it's like that
stop.
cover
Yeah,
looks gorgeous. One click, give
exactly.
me, give me. All right, so why did you choose to do self-publishing versus attempting to get published with a traditional publishing company?
Well, when I first started, I actually worked at Penguin Random House back
Okay.
when it was Penguin Group, and I was in their young adult or children's division marketing. Um, and at that time, I was writing Midnight Fire, which was a vampire romance series, and it was kind of way after the wave of Twilight and
Twilight.
all the vampire books. And being in the industry, I knew that agents and everyone in traditional publishing was so sick of those books that there was going to be pretty much no chance of getting it published. So I figured, why not, try to do it on my own. And then once I did and I was able to be successful with it, I found that I loved it even more because I get to have my hands in like so many different aspects of the business, which is really fun for me. Get to, have my input in cover design. Some of the covers that I have, I've actually designed by myself.
Oh
And some
wow.
of them I've, been able to work like the Raven and the Dove. I worked with Sloan Lodge, who's such an amazing artist. But it's nice to be able to have aspect, control in some of those parts of the industry as well and do my own marketing, which is such a crazy but fun thing to do.
Oh, I get that because I
Yeah.
mean I know that I've talked with like other traditional publishers and stuff, and it's like, well, it's like it has to be this way and this way and this way, and this is all I could do, and I didn't get any real input in like the cover and stuff like that. So it's a lot nicer when you have full control over everything, because then it's like, no, I don't like this. Okay, I like that. Go do it
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
Do it again. Do over.
Yeah, and if something's working or if something's not working, then I have the power to try to fix it,
Hmm.
the best that I can. Whereas sometimes if you're in traditional publishing, it can be a lot harder to fix things when they're not going
Right.
the way that you're
And then
hoping
you
they
get to say
will.
like, hey, if I want my book to be like 9,000 pages long, I can
Yeah,
do that.
exactly. I could do
I can
that.
do
No
that.
one could tell
Nobody's
me
gonna
no.
tell me no, right? Yeah, I found that a couple of years ago, or yeah, I think it was a couple months ago or so. I was talking with oh my God, her name just completely just poofed out of my head. Lori Forrest. She wrote
Okay, yeah.
the
Black
Black
Witch
Witch.
Chronicles.
Yeah, that I guess that was book one and two was actually one book.
Oh,
Like
really?
that's a big
That would have been a big book, yeah. Because I
book.
think I saw the Black Witch Chronicles at like a Barnes and Noble or something, and that
Hmm.
was a
That
pretty
is a thick
sturdy book
book,
on its own.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like that and the Iron Flower put together, or I think that's book two. My brain is so dead today.
No
Uh,
worries.
that would have been like beyond Sarah J.
Yeah.
Maas or Cassandra Clare size, because that is, whoo.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know
Her
if I would
books
have
are
wanted to
long.
hold that book. That's a little much. All right, so the next question that we have is, would you consider, I'm gonna butcher these people's
Oh,
names.
no worries.
Is it Layana or
I
Lana?
think it's Liana, but
Liana?
I
Okay.
recently I was like on babynames.com and I saw that it's actually supposed to be pronounced a different way. So I've been
Oh,
pronouncing it wrong in my head like the whole time that I've been writing this book. But she's Liana because that's
Liana.
how I
And
hear it. Yeah.
Rafe, right? Or
Rafe,
Raf,
yeah.
Rafe. Okay. Would you consider them soulmates?
Well, I think, that will be revealed as the story progresses, but I do. I think that's the beauty of Tristan and Isolde, and that's a story that the book retells
Oh, I didn't
is
know
the
that.
star-crossed lovers, and yeah, two people who
Oh,
are clearly meant to be together, but just the world is kind of keeping them apart.
oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie with James Franco.
Oh,
I like didn't even
yes.
know what the myth was until I saw
Uh-huh.
that movie. I think back when I was in high school, and then I just like
Right.
devoured stories about Tristan and Isolde because I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? I have to know more. So it's fun to get to, take my own twist on it
So
and
if
turn
I
it
ever
into
had
something.
another child, their name would be Isolde if I had another girl, because
Oh, nice.
I love
Yeah,
that.
so pretty.
It's so pretty. My kids have really weird names. My 15-year-old, her name is Andarin, and the other one is Annalise. So
Oh, I
gotta
like them.
gotta stick with the off the wall name.
No, That's the hardest part to me about writing. Not the hardest part, but one of the hardest parts about writing a book to me is naming the characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like so much can be encompassed by a name, like a whole
Right.
attitude of a person.
And it's like,
Yeah,
do you
so
want to go like completely off the wall? Or do you
exactly.
want to
How
say
unique do you want to be, or
kind
how?
of stuff that people can actually pronounce? Or you like go,
Exactly.
I think you kind of went in the middle where,
Yeah, it's
it's
in the
not a
middle road, kind
common
of
name, but it's not completely,
out there.
out there where, there is absolutely no way I'm pronouncing this correctly
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
exactly.
People have about a 50-50 chance
Yep.
with
That
these
happened to
guys.
me with Throne of Glass. I pronounced
Yes.
that name wrong the whole. Is it? I had no idea how to say it, so in my head it just was like a
Right.
jarbled mess as I was reading it. But I think it's Selena or spelled
I think
weird.
it's
I'm not
something
sure.
like that. See,
Yeah, something like that.
I end
But
up
yeah,
giving, if the characters like that book, I end up giving them like nicknames or just like shortening it
yeah,
because if you don't, you're just gonna,
yeah,
nope. So this book deals with two worlds, one being with the sky people and them
hmm
having wings and stuff, and a world that floats up in the sky. And then the other one deals with I guess, like the earthly plane with the water and everything else. How much
yeah.
research did you have to do to come up with both worlds?
So for the first book, The World Below is kind of a mystery. So I did a lot of
Hmm.
research for it, but you won't really see, more about that until the sequel when some of the characters spend more time down in The World Below, which is a floating world that's like on the ocean and it's covered in mist and it's from above it just looks like a big sea of fog. So most of my research for book one was concentrated on the world above, which is the floating kingdoms. And most of that research was, yes, there's the map from the book. Most of that research was spent doing a lot of deep diving into bird culture and bird um, wing shapes and how they interact with each other and what the kingdoms are all based on different birds. So like Lyanna is a dove and Rafe is a raven. And there's a kingdom of hummingbirds, a kingdom of songbirds, a kingdom called the House of Prey, which is like eagles and hawks and things like that, an owl kingdom. So I spent a lot of time trying to make sure that these bird-like characters would have human features, but also features that made them more unique, not just people with wings, but
Hmm.
actual characteristics from the birds themselves that I could kind of carry over into the narrative.
I really like how you did all that because like there's a lot of books out like Truth Witch and stuff where it's witch this and or something witch something witch something witch and that gets very repetitive after like two chapters. You're just like I just don't want to hear it anymore. And this you didn't do that because everybody's different. It kind of makes it so that it doesn't feel so repetitive that they're not constantly saying, "Oh, I'm of the Peace Clan or the Ravens and all that." It's like it's mentioned a couple times and it's done.
Yeah,
It
thank
was
you. That
nice.
means a lot.
So like all of these little island kite things up here, like are there bridges to each one or do they have to fly or
No, they're all far apart. Yeah, you can only reach
okay.
them by flying. Yeah.
Okay. That's
So that's
cool.
why they don't usually. There's trade in between the kingdoms, but
Mhm.
the biggest ceremony of the year is the one that takes place in the book, the courtship trials, and so they don't really have mass gatherings all that often where they all come together. But that is one of them where all the royal children from all the houses kind of have to not really it's fighting and doing trials and doing tests to figure out who they're going to be married to.
Awesome. Like there was another question here and I forgot to write it down and that's going to bother me now.
Oh, no worries.
So how many books are going to be in this series as I like try to flip through here to see if I can find it?
Oh, no worries. There's going to be four. So this one just went on sale. The sequel is available for pre-order called The Hunter and the Mage, and that's going on sale in
Ooh.
September. Yeah. And then the other two, I have the covers and the titles ready, but I don't want to reveal them too soon. So they'll be revealed slowly, and then they're hopefully going to go on sale both in 2021. So it won't be too
Okay.
long of a wait between all the books.
See, I like that. There was
Yeah,
another
exactly.
series that came out this year that all four books are coming out this year, and it's like that's really nice when you don't have to
Wait too
completely
long.
wait, a year or like some of these authors they're doing it like 10 years apart, which I mean some of it I
Yeah.
understand. because so much is integrated into the story, they can't really, pop them out every 5 seconds. That's gonna bother
Yeah,
me
but it's
now.
nice as a reader to not have to wait too long.
Right? So as I still try to look for what I was talking about. Oh, here. See, I did find it. Okay, so in this, they early on in the book when Raph is talking to his brother, they talking about like if they weren't dealing with being royals, that he would be able to choose, same-sex couples and stuff. Why did you decide to incorporate the LGBT community and free choice and stuff into your titles?
Well, I just think that just because something, I am very much pro LG, pro, the trans and I can never say the whole thing, LGBTQ community. And in the first book, none of the main characters have that going for them. So I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that it wasn't ignored in the world and it was acknowledged, even though none of the main characters were going to be in same-sex couples in the first book.
Mm-hmm.
But in the sequel and in the books that are coming, I'm going to be introducing some more characters that are going to have their own points of view talked about
Oh.
during the novel. And at least two of them are going to have a same-sex couple. So I wanted to get the idea introduced early so that that those kind of couples are accepted in the world. And I think that fantasy is, the perfect avenue for that because I'm making up the world. So why can't everyone be accepted in it? There's no
Like
reason
that.
for them not to be.
I vaguely remember something about, I think it was at SeaWorld or something, that two male penguins had formed a bond with each other, and then they found like some rock or something that they thought was an egg,
Oh,
and
really?
another penguin couple had laid two eggs, and that's not generally what happens, so they like secretly swapped it out, and
Oh,
the
wow.
egg hatched, and they've been taking care of this baby, and
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
so cute.
that's what's so adorable, that they didn't try to break them up or anything, because I guess penguins mate for life.
Yeah, they do.
So, in the animal community and stuff, it's not as
It's not faux
taboo,
pas. Yeah,
yeah, or
exactly.
anything like that. So I think it really kind of worked for the story. And I like that a lot of books nowadays are really adding it, because like my oldest daughter is bisexual and stuff, and my roommate is pansexual and open and everything. And I think that the more people that accept it, that 20 years from now, it won't be such a big deal.
Exactly.
I
And
am
I think
all
like
for
younger
the
generations are already there. Like, you
exactly
know, it's more the older generations that I think are having
that have
trouble.
more
So
of the
I write for
problems with
teens
it.
and I think that teens, are way more accepting of
Oh
that
yeah.
and they should be. And so why not have everyone and every type of person in your book?
We're supposed to be going to Atlanticon next week. I'm really hoping they don't cancel it, because
Oh
I
yeah.
got to go, and one of our favorite authors is going to be there, A.K. Faulkner. So I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
So excited. And that's what that is. It's kind of like a Comic-Con geared toward the LGBT community. So
Oh nice. That's so
it's really
great.
cool. I'm like, I'll have to like take it with me, like, yes, read it. Read it. It's amazing.
Oh, thanks.
All right, so what has been your favorite book of 2020 so far?
Oh my goodness, I've read some really good ones this year. I just read Sorcery of Thorns, which I thought was
Oh,
fabulous. Yeah, that cover like pulled me in. Talk about
I
a
haven't read
gorgeous
that one
cover.
yet. I love the cover. I
It's
have
really
it.
good.
It's over here around me somewhere in one of my massive stacks of books. I read her other book, I think the first one, Enchantment of Ravens, I think.
Hmm.
That
I
one was
didn't read that one, but I'm going
so
to
good.
now.
It was so
Yeah.
good. So I'm excited for the next for that
Yeah, I
one.
read that and it was great. And then I read The 10,000 Doors of January, which I thought was
Okay.
fabulous too. Both of those were ones that I saw like all the time on Instagram. And then I finally
Mhm.
was like, okay, I've seen these like gorgeous covers floating around nonstop. I
It's
need
like
to buy
read it.
these. Like,
Gotta read
what is
it.
everyone talking about? Yeah, exactly.
It's
They were
crazy
both great.
because it's I work at a used bookstore, so I'll like be shelving books, and I have like an entire stack of stuff over here that I've grabbed because I'm like, oh, that cover looks interesting. Read the back of it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll like grab it and see if it's something that I want to read. So so now I have like extra stacks of
Endless
books.
amounts, right? Yeah.
It's like that looks awesome. I gotta check it out.
I know, I
So
can't stop. I'm a Kindle addict, so my
right.
Kindle is just like overflowing with so many books that I can't stop
Oh,
reading.
I
Whenever
love
something's
that
on sale,
one.
I just have to buy it because I'm
Right.
like, I
It's
don't
like,
know.
oh,
I
it's
just am an
pretty. I
impulse
need
shopper, I
it.
guess. Yeah,
It's like you don't really
exactly.
need it, but I need it.
But I do.
I need it. So what about last year? What was your favorite book of 2019?
Oh my gosh. Again, I read so many books last year. I'm like trying to think. Oh, I read Elise Kova's Air Awakened series last year, and I thought
Okay.
that was so awesome. And I'd seen that she's a fellow indie author, and I'd seen her
Mm-hmm.
books all over the place. And the covers are so gorgeous.
Oh, they are. They're so
Um,
pretty.
yeah, so I read that. I'm also a huge fan of Colleen Hoover, and I read
Oh,
a couple of her books that I had missed out on last year. I think All Your Perfects, I think, was the one that came out last
mm-hmm.
year,
Yeah.
which I thought was great. She just
Came
like
out
is an author
day
who
before
pulls
my
at my
birthday.
heartstrings. Oh, really? Yeah,
I
she's
love her
great.
so
Every one of
much.
her books makes me like, I don't know, want to like sob or
Oh,
cry with happiness and sadness
got
and
my nice
everything, and
little
just so
keychain
good.
thing.
Oh, nice.
So I won
Yeah, I think she's
from her
great.
group. I love her so much. They actually made a TV movie
Oh,
out
they
of
did.
Confess
Oh,
that
okay, yeah,
was
yeah.
on one of the applications to watch. They did a really good job
Oh my
with
gosh,
it.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I loved that
Yes,
book. Yeah.
it was really good. Like they did a fabulous job with it, and it's got the girl that is partially deaf from Switched at Birth,
Oh, okay,
and I
yeah,
don't remember where the guy is from, but
yeah.
they did a phenomenal job with it. It was so good. It's like
That's great. Yeah, I'll
they
definitely
need to
look
pick
that
up
up.
more of her books now.
Yeah,
Come on, let's get with
exactly.
it. Let's go. So, what is a book this year that you can't wait to get your hands on?
Well, I love Sarah Moss, so I haven't bought Crescent City yet, but I am excited to go grab that one because yeah, I'm looking forward to that book. All of her characters always just suck me in and I end up falling in love with them. Yeah, and that cover is like stunning again. This has
Oh
like
my
been
God,
like
this thing
the
is
past two
so
years have been
pretty.
like nonstop gorgeous
Oh,
fantasy
here.
covers. I can't even handle
It
it.
is so pretty. And like the inside of this is gorgeous. And like the cover, like the book itself, it just has like the
Oh yeah,
moon
that's
on
really
it.
pretty. Yeah.
And then the inside of it,
Yeah, the artwork,
I'm
so
like, okay,
stunning.
so I'm just gonna like win the lottery
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go buy a house and I'm just gonna have like, okay, can you like just paint this,
Yeah,
like just
painted on my wall.
on the wall, Because I would be totally fine with that because that is just so pretty. So gorgeous.
Yeah, so
If
I'm
you
looking
guys
forward to reading that for
if you
sure.
guys have any other questions, feel free to ask them. What about a book that hasn't come out yet?
Oh my gosh, what's coming up this year?
It's like I'm trying to think like what is
I
coming out this year? I don't even
know.
know.
I feel like there's so much, but now I'm just like blanking on it.
Right. Well, it's like I had been
I
looking
read
for a
some books on
job for
NetGalley
like
too, so some of them
right,
might be on sale or might not be on sale, but I read
right.
them like 6 months ago or whenever, they were available to me on NetGalley.
Oh my
So
goodness, I know that feeling. It's like I went from getting up, getting breakfast, sitting down on my chair, doing all this book stuff to working, and now it's like, what are you reading? And I'm like, what are you waiting for? No
I know.
I think I've got two March releases sitting over here. But like I said, here's one. This one's coming out this month.
Oh, nice.
I have no idea what this is about.
I don't know. I've seen the one, I think it's
It's
called Where
pretty.
Dreams Descend. I don't know if that one's out or not yet,
Where
but that
dreams
cover is really
descend.
pretty too.
Oh.
Has like a big curtain and like a woman in like a cool dress sitting on
It's
a
like, oh, do I
chandelier.
have
I think it's
this?
like Phantom of the Opera inspired, but I saw
What's in
that one
here?
floating around. That looked fun.
As all the books go crashing to the ground. Oh, that's right. Oh, so yeah, this is what I was reading.
Oh,
I
nice.
was reading that
I haven't
one.
read that, but I've seen it around. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got a box from Novel. That I won their monthly book box. So I got like four books, and I got this one and the hat that says "Read to Resist," which was really
Oh,
cool.
nice. Yeah.
And let's see, when is this one out? It's like I got a stack of books over here. Let's see, take that thing off. Oh, this one comes out this month. This one's
Oh, nice.
really thin.
That's thin. Yeah,
That
for
is
YA.
thin. Like I was surprised. I'm like, because you got like you go from like this
Yeah, right. Exactly.
to
My book
that.
is kind of long.
I'm like, what? Did
Yeah.
they forget half the book?
I think does the second King of Scars come out this year? I don't know if that comes out in the fall or
I don't
maybe
know. Oh,
I'm
I
looking
still need
forward to
to
that one
read
though,
those.
for sure.
There hills of books. You were right. There are so many books coming out this
There's so
month.
many.
It is insane.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think. I know there was something else that was coming out that I just got an email for. Was it? Oh, Harley in the Sky,
Oh, I've
uh,
heard of that one. Yeah.
Salty Bittersweet. Um, I don't know what else is coming out this month. There's so many books. I just need to learn how not to need to sleep anymore. So I just stay up all night and
Yeah,
just read, read,
exactly.
read, and then go to work, and then come home and read.
And then
And just do
sometimes
nothing but
I
read.
will read on the couch while my husband is watching his sports, and I'll just sit next to him and read my book, and
That comes
that
in
way we can
handy.
share the couch. But yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
He
I
gets his
use.
sports, and I get my books, and it works out.
Oh yes, City of Brass. I think the third book of that book is coming out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Poppy Wars. I don't think I've heard of that one.
I think I think that's an adult fantasy series. I don't
Okay.
remember who the author is, but I can kind of envision the covers in my head right now.
Right? I
I
was like,
think.
ooh, I've heard of it. People come into the
Yeah.
store and they're like, "Do you have this book?" And I'm like, "Okay, I know I've seen this cover. Where I've seen this cover,
Yeah.
your
That's
guess is
my
as good as
favorite. I've seen
mine."
in libraries and bookstores they'll have a display like
Right.
at the top and it says like the cover was like red or something. And they'll just have like all the red covers because so many people come into a bookstore just like I
Right.
don't
It's
know
like,
what it's called. I don't know who wrote it. I don't really know what it's
right.
about, but I know that
It's
this is what
red.
the cover looked like.
Well, here, speaking of red books, I know something that I've been like meaning to catch up with, and that's of course Outlander.
Oh
This is
yeah.
it's
I've
like
only
this.
read the first one. My mom is obsessed with the television show though, so I feel like I need
Yes.
to catch up.
Yeah, this is the season that we're on right now, is the
Oh,
Fiery
okay.
Cross, which is like,
Her books are really long too.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is a little mass market paperback, but I mean, this is
And it all follows the same couple, right? All the books. I'm like, that's
1,400 pages. This is a little bit over 1,400
yeah.
pages long, but they're so good. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I loved the first one.
the later books change from Jamie and Claire to their kids, well, to
Oh,
her
okay.
their daughter and then her husband and stuff, and them going back and forth in time. But yeah, I've been meaning to read all of these and get caught up because my plan was to read the book that you're currently on before the new season started, and
The season, yeah.
that
I
hasn't
know.
worked out.
Plans have a way of falling through sometimes. It's
Hasn't
just
worked out so well,
I
like
know.
whatsoever. Okay, well,
That happened to me with To All the Boys I Loved Before.
right.
I read the first book before the Netflix movie came out and I meant
Hmm.
to read the other two and I haven't yet, but I watched the movie because I couldn't resist.
I actually need to watch the second one of those. I
Yeah, they're really cute.
actually didn't care for the books, but I loved the movie that Netflix did that was so
Yeah, the
adorable.
movies are so cute.
They're so cute. They're like completely. And Netflix is picking up
I love a good
so
rom
many
com too. So
things
I know
that
Netflix is
they're
becoming
like
like the
doing
home of rom coms,
everything.
which I love. So
Yeah, because I mean, they're doing Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass series called Queen of
yeah, yeah,
Shadows.
I heard about that. Yeah,
And
the
I think,
Shadow and Bone, the Leigh
yeah, the
Bardugo. I
Shadow and
think that's
Bone.
Netflix, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
maybe Hulu?
or
No, I
maybe
think
that.
it's Netflix. Yeah,
Actually, I think the Queen of Shadows.
is
I
that
think that
Hulu?
one's Hulu. Yeah, I
Maybe.
think
Yeah.
that one's Hulu.
I'm excited though. So many fantasy TV
Right?
shows. I'm
It's like,
so ready for
give
that.
me all the books.
Exactly.
I need them. Right. Well,
I
I
am
guess
ready.
nobody else has any other questions. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I will
Yeah,
have
thank you.
to. I've added your other books that I have to my reading list to read them. So
Oh,
I will get
awesome.
back to
Thanks.
you once I finish those.
No
It's like,
worries.
oh my
I'll
God, I
show
fell in love
everyone
with
the
this book.
cover
You got to come
again.
back on the show.
Yeah. I hope everyone loves it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you end up reading The Raven and the Dove, you can
And it was
send me a
so
message on
good.
Instagram. I'm really good at responding to messages on Instagram. I'm not good at responding to
And
messages
I mean,
pretty much anywhere else.
it is kind of thick, but it goes really fast. It's got some really good
That's what I
pacing
hope.
to it. Yeah, I
Thank
mean,
you.
it is not stagnant whatsoever. Something is always going on. Information that you need is always being giving to
Thanks.
you. So
I'm trying.
it was good. Well, I mean, it sucks, but in the world of indie books, you got the really good ones like this, and then you got the ones where they
You
just
never know sometimes. Yeah.
to me they just kind of don't, it seems like they just don't care and they didn't want to put in the effort to it because just because you're an indie author doesn't mean that you can skim past, editing and
Oh yeah, totally. I
revising and
mean,
all
I
that
work with
stuff.
so many editors and
Yeah.
so many rounds of yeah, beta reading and developmental
Hmm.
editing and copy editing and all
Yep.
that. You
Because
can't skimp on it.
there was another book out that I had actually reviewed off of BookBub, and the author commented to my review because I ended up DNFing it.
Mm.
And I'm like, that it needed a lot more revision and editing and stuff. I'm like, well, don't you know it's an indie book? And I'm like, that doesn't give you a free pass
Yeah, no.
on all the editing and stuff. It's still a book. You still got to do all
Yeah.
that stuff. So, hey.
Yes. And authors, you should never comment when someone leaves a bad review. Not everyone is going to like everything. It happens.
Right?
Even my
Nope.
favorite books have 1-star reviews. So
Mm-hmm.
you can never please everyone.
Nope.
I
Because just
always
because
reply to
one
people
person
who
likes
love it
it
and,
doesn't mean everybody's going to like it. And
exactly.
it would be kind of weird if everybody ended up liking the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be weird. It's like everybody loves the Darkest Mind series. I hated that series. I didn't like it. No.
I never read that one. I saw the movie though.
Oh God, I
I think
try.
it was on
I've
a plane.
It's like because you keep seeing it like on at like Goodwill or the Salvation Army, and it's like $1. I'm like, okay, I'll try it again. And then I would get to like 200 pages, and then they're just in this van and they're driving around, and I'm like, get hit by a car, something, fall off the cliff, hit a tree. I don't care, but please, something happen. Something. Get a get another flat tire. I don't know, but just let's go.
Yeah,
Start
I love
speeding.
action-packed books.
Yeah, and when it starts getting very stagnant, then it's like I just I don't care about these people anymore. I don't care. I'm done. I don't care what your issue is. Go tell it to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks again for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks so much for
I had a
having me.
blast. I
It
cannot
was
wait for
great
the
to
next
chat. Yeah.
one.
Thanks so much. Yep. I'm almost done with the rough draft, so it's going in my editor in about a week. So,
Woohoo!
yay. Yeah, I'm ready to hand it off.
Woohoo! Can't wait. Is it going to be just as long as this one, or?
A little bit longer.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's even
So,
better.
yeah, exactly. That's why I'm ready to hand it off. I've been writing it for quite a while, so I'm hoping that she'll come back with all good feedback and we'll go from there.
Woohoo! Excited.
Yep, I'm excited. Well, thanks so
Alrighty.
much.
Thank you so much for coming on.
And thanks for everyone who's watching and stopped by to say hello.
And guys, make sure to join us next week. Our show is actually going to be a tad different because we're going to be having it on the 18th, which is a Wednesday, not a Friday, and it is at 7 p.m. And it is with Francesca Flores of Diamond City. I am so excited to be able to read this. This cover looks amazing. And this is published by Wednesday Books, and I cannot wait. And then the end of the month, oh, my God, read this book here. See, it was a good idea to come do this in the living room. We will be once again talking with Amber Duell and her series, what is the series called? The Dark Dreamer Trilogy, and this is her retelling of The Sandman. And guys, like seriously, if you haven't read this, you need to. This is book 2. I have book 1 somewhere over here. I really hope I didn't pack it because I need to reread these. But this is definitely a series to check out because they were so good. And this one is published through the Parliament House. And this cover is just so gorgeous. And I cannot wait to read all 3 of those all at once because they were so good. Like, beyond amazing. All right, so I will catch you guys next week. Again, I'm so sorry that a lot of these shows have been canceled, but it has just been insane around here with getting this job and then getting sick and feeling like I just basically want to crawl back in bed and die there for probably maybe a couple of years. So I'm hoping to get back onto a regular schedule and start bringing you guys books again, especially on the site, which I started doing. I actually got an entire week's worth of posts done. I'm actually going to be sitting down tomorrow and Sunday and doing more posts. So if you guys check out The Raven and the Dove or any of the books that I have posted about, please let me know how you like them. And I will let you guys go, and I'm going to go shampoo my car. So I will catch you guys later.